Alex groaned softly, blinking against the harsh light that flooded his small recovery room. The mining accident had left him with several broken ribs and a fractured leg, but thankfully, the rescue team had acted quickly. Now, he found himself under the care of the local medical team on Zadra, an alien planet known for its rich deposits of xylenium. As he attempted to sit up, the door hissed open, revealing a figure that was distinctly non-human. The creature Salis, as she introduced herself, was tall and slender, with smooth blue skin that shimmered slightly under the clinic's lights. Her eyes were large and expressive, hinting at a depth of kindness. "Please, remain still, Mr. Alex. You've sustained significant injuries," Salis said, her voice melodic yet firm as she approached with a scanner in hand. Alex, still trying to get his bearings, managed a weak smile. "Thanks, Salis. I guess you're my nurse?" "That is correct," she replied, adjusting the scanner over his chest. "I am here to ensure your recovery progresses without complication." As she worked, Alex noticed her hands were slightly webbed, fascinating him. "So, how does this work? Never been treated by alien tech before." Salis looked up, her face brightening a bit with interest. "Our medical scanners analyze and accelerate cellular regeneration. It's quite efficient. You should be able to walk again in a few days, though complete healing will take longer." "That's impressive," Alex remarked, watching the scanner emit a soft, pulsing light. "Back on Earth, I'd be in a cast for weeks." The room fell into a comfortable silence, punctuated only by the soft hum of the medical equipment. After a few moments, Salis spoke again, her tone curious. "Earth, your home. What is it like?" "It's beautiful in its own way. Lots of diversity, in people and in nature. But it's not as advanced as things seem here," Alex explained, his thoughts drifting to the green fields of his hometown. "And what brought you so far from home?" Salis inquired, as she continued her examination. "Adventure, I suppose," Alex chuckled, then winced from the pain. "And the job?" "I'm a geologist. We were surveying a new vein of xylenium when the tunnel collapsed." "I see," Salis said, her voice tinged with sympathy. "You risk much for your work." "Yeah, maybe too much sometimes," Alex sighed, looking around the sterile room. "How about you? Have you always been a nurse?" "Yes, in a sense. My people are caretakers both of our own kind and of others like you. It is our way," Salis explained, her eyes reflecting a sense of pride. Alex was about to ask another question when another figure entered the room. This new person was another human, based on his uniform probably one of the supervisors from the mining crew. "Alex. You're awake. Good to see you in one piece, mate," the man said, clapping his hands together as he stopped by the bed. "Hey, Tom," Alex replied, relieved to see a familiar face. "Yeah, still kicking, thanks to Salis here." Tom nodded at Salis, offering a grateful smile. "We owe you a lot, ma'am. Taking good care of our boy here." "It is my duty and my honor," Salis responded, a hint of formality in her voice. "Speaking of duty," Tom said, turning back to Alex, "once you're up again, we'll need to reassess the site. But, no rush. Health comes first." Alex nodded, though the thought of returning to the mine so soon made him uneasy. He turned to Salis, changing the subject. "So, Salis, think you can tell me more about your world while I'm stuck here?" "I would be pleased to," Salis said, her luminous eyes lighting up with enthusiasm. "There is much to share about Zadra." As Salis began to describe her planet's sprawling oceans and towering crystal forests, Alex listened intently, a sense of wonder slowly replacing his initial discomfort. Despite the unfortunate circumstances, he realized this unexpected detour might just broaden his horizons in ways he had never imagined. The days in the Zadran medical facility passed slowly for Alex as he adjusted to his routine of treatments and rest. His curiosity about his surroundings grew each day, fueled by Salis's stories about her world. Each morning, she'd share tales of Zadra's cities that glowed under twin suns and the rituals her people practiced, blending science with a deep cultural heritage. On one particular morning, Alex's room was bustling more than usual. Tom had returned with another member of the mining crew, a geophysicist named Jared, who had been on the outer teams during the accident. "Hey, Alex, brought Jared along to check on you," Tom announced as they entered. "He's got news about the mine." Jared nodded to Alex, then to Salis. "Hello. Hope I'm not intruding." "Not at all," Alex replied, gesturing to a chair near his bed. "What's the news? How bad is it out there?" "Well, the damage is extensive, but it's fixable," Jared explained, pulling up a chair. "We'll need to reinforce the existing shafts and reroute some of the tunnels." Celis listened intently, her interest in human engineering piqued. Your methods of extraction, are they similar to what we use for underwater mining on Zadra? Underwater mining? Jared raised an eyebrow, intrigued. No, I can't say they are. We mostly deal with open pits or subterranean work. How does underwater mining work? Celis smiled, eager to share. We use sonic resonators to break down rocks and a system of currents to transport the minerals. It minimizes environmental impact. That's fascinating, Tom chimed in. Could use something like that to prevent future accidents. Alex watched the exchange with a growing sense of pride in his new friend's mutual respect and curiosity. Maybe we can learn a thing or two from each other, huh? Definitely, Jared agreed. It's all about safer, smarter work. Their discussion was interrupted by another visitor, Dr. Mirel, the chief medical officer of the facility and another member of Celis's species. He was tall, like Celis, but his skin had a greenish hue. Good morning, everyone, Dr. Mirel greeted them warmly. Alex, your recovery is progressing well. We are pleased with your healing. Thanks to your team, Dr. Mirel, Alex replied. I owe you guys a lot. Dr. Mirel nodded, then turned to his colleague. Celis has mentioned your interest in our culture, Alex. I brought some visual aids that might help explain more about our world. He handed Alex a tablet showing images of vibrant underwater cities and complex coral reefs. Wow, this is incredible, Alex said, scrolling through the images. Your architecture integrates with the environment so seamlessly. It's a philosophy of life for us, Dr. Mirel explained. Living with our planet, not just on it. The group spent the next hour discussing various engineering and medical techniques, finding common ground and potential areas for collaboration between their peoples. Celis and Dr. Mirel were just as eager to learn about human technologies and practices. As the meeting drew to a close, Tom leaned back in his chair, looking thoughtful. You know, maybe this accident was a blessing in disguise. It's opened a door to so much more. Here's to new friendships and future partnerships. Jared raised an imaginary glass. Alex smiled, feeling more connected to these beings from another world than he ever thought possible. As they all shared a laugh, he realized that despite the pain and the unfamiliarity, he was part of something truly special here. Thanks, everyone, Alex said, feeling more hopeful than he had since the accident. I'm looking forward to seeing what we can all create together. As his friends left, Celis stayed behind, her presence a comforting constant. You seem inspired, Alex. I am, Alex admitted. It's not every day you crash on an alien planet and make friends. Celis chuckled. Nor is it common for us to meet someone so open to our ways. We are also learning, thanks to you. With that, Alex settled back, pondering the unexpected turns his life had taken, eager for the days ahead as he continued to heal and explore this new world of possibilities. A week had passed since Alex began his cultural and technological exchanges with the Zytherans. He was feeling stronger every day, and his conversations with Celis had deepened, bridging the gap between human and Zytheran understanding. However, Celis had started to act unusually, her demeanor shifting subtly, something Alex couldn't help but notice. Celis, is everything okay? Alex asked one morning as she seemed particularly distracted, checking her medical scanner repeatedly while avoiding eye contact. Celis paused, her eyes finally meeting his. I apologize, Alex. I am not at my best today. It's a personal matter. Concerned, Alex sat up straighter. Anything I can help with? You've been there for me a lot these past weeks. Just then, Dr. Mirel entered the room, noticing the tension. Celis, maybe you should take a break. I can cover here. No, I'm fine, Celis insisted, though she offered a thankful glance to Dr. Mirel. Alex watched the exchange with curiosity. Once Dr. Mirel left, he said, You sure you don't want to talk about it? Sometimes it helps, you know. Celis hesitated, then sighed. It's called the mating frenzy. It's a natural part of our life cycle, but it's unpredictable. I didn't expect it to start now. Mating frenzy? Alex echoed, trying to mask his surprise with concern. Yes, it can affect our concentration, our emotions. It's very intense, she explained, her voice a mix of embarrassment and frustration. Before Alex could respond, Jared entered the room with a couple of geological sensor pads. Hey, Alex, got some new data here I thought you'd find interesting but, did I come at a bad time? No, it's okay, Jared, Alex assured him, gesturing for him to come in. Celis was just explaining a bit about Zytheran biology to me. Jared nodded, placing the sensors on the table. Sounds complex. Hey, Celis, if you need to step out, I can hang with Alex for a while. That might be best, Celis agreed reluctantly. Thank you, Jared. Once Celis left, Jared raised an eyebrow. Mating frenzy, huh? That's got to complicate working relationships. You could say that, Alex laughed awkwardly, then redirected their attention to the sensors. So, what's the story with these readings? Jared switched on the pad, displaying a series of graphs and data points. Well, we've been monitoring the seismic activity around the mine, and there's a pattern here that might explain the instability in the tunnels. As they delved into the geological data, Alex found the distraction welcome. The two spent the next hour discussing potential safety improvements for the mining operation. It was during this technical discussion that Tom popped his head in. Making any breakthroughs, or just breaking more ground? Tom joked as he entered. Actually, Tom, look at this, Jared said, pointing to a particularly erratic data series. This could be a game changer for our drilling protocols. Tom whistled, impressed. Good work, Jared. And good to see you up and about, Alex. Thanks, Tom. Feels good to be thinking about rocks again, not just my recovery, Alex responded with a grin. After Tom and Jared left to prepare a presentation for the mining executives, Alex found himself alone, his thoughts returning to Celis and her candid revelation. It struck him how little he knew about the personal lives of the Zytherans, despite their openness in other areas. Later that evening, Celis returned, looking more composed. I apologize for earlier, Alex. I hope I haven't made you uncomfortable. Not at all, Alex reassured her. I appreciate you telling me. If there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. Celis smiled, a weight seemingly lifted from her shoulders. Thank you, Alex. Just understanding is more than enough. As they resumed their evening routine, discussing the cultural histories of Earth and Zadra, Alex felt their bond strengthening, a mutual respect anchoring their growing friendship amidst the complexities of interstellar life and biology. As the days went on, the signs of Celis's mating frenzy became more apparent, and Alex found himself growing increasingly concerned about how it affected her. He could tell it wasn't just physical, it was emotional and psychological as well. One quiet evening, while they were alone in the recovery room, Alex decided it was time to address the elephant in the room. He noticed Celis seemed particularly distracted, her usual attentive demeanor clouded with an uncharacteristic edginess. Celis, we need to talk about this mating frenzy thing, Alex started, his tone gentle yet firm. It's clearly taking a toll on you. Isn't there anything that can be done? Celis paused, her large eyes meeting his with a mix of reluctance and relief. I didn't want to burden you with this, Alex. In our culture, it's deeply personal and not something we easily discuss with outsiders. But I'm not just any outsider, am I? Alex replied, hoping his light tone would ease the tension. We're friends, Celis. And friends help each other out. You're right, Alex, Celis admitted, letting out a deep breath. During the mating frenzy, our physiological and emotional states are heightened dramatically. It's supposed to lead to bonding and, well, reproduction. It's nature's way for us. And there's no way to just turn it off? Alex asked, trying to understand. No. It's a fundamental part of who we are. Ignoring it isn't an option, Celis explained, her voice tinged with frustration. Normally, we'd take leave, spend time in designated sanctuaries to handle this, but I didn't expect it to start now. Just then, Dr. Murrell entered, his timing almost perfect. I heard you discussing the mating frenzy, Celis. It might be beneficial to explain more to Alex, might help him help you. Celis nodded slowly, looking back at Alex. During this time, we need connection. Emotional, physical. It's not just about the physical act, it's about experiencing a profound bond. Alex listened, his mind racing. He cared about Celis, respected her deeply. So, what you're saying is that being close to someone, not just physically, could help. Precisely, Dr. Murrell added. It's about sharing intimacy, understanding, and support. Celis needs to feel connected, not isolated with her condition. Alex mulled over the words, understanding the gravity of the situation. I want to help, Celis. Whatever you need, I'm here for you. Celis smiled, her usual warmth returning momentarily. Thank you, Alex. Your support means more than you know. As the discussion ended, Dr. Murrell left them to talk more privately. Alex turned to Celis, his decision made. Let's figure this out together. Whatever makes you comfortable, I'm willing to be there for you. I would like that, Celis said, her voice soft. But only if you're absolutely sure. I don't want to impose my biology on you. "It's not an imposition if I'm offering," Alex reassured her. "Let's take it one step at a time, see what feels right." Grateful, Celis agreed, and they spent the rest of the evening planning. They would start with simple physical proximity, like sitting closer during their chats, and gradually find a balance that felt right for both of them. The next few days, Alex and Celis experimented with their comfort levels. They shared space more openly, and Alex made an effort to be physically close, offering hugs and sitting beside her during their meetings. Each step was a learning process, and although it was uncharted territory for both, their commitment to understanding and supporting each other only deepened their bond. Alex was amazed at how natural it felt to be there for Celis, and he was determined to help her through her mating frenzy, fostering a connection that was both unique and unexpectedly profound. In the following days, Alex noticed a significant change in Celis. She appeared more relaxed, and her occasional smiles returned, warming the clinical environment of the medical bay. The changes weren't just physical, there was an emotional shift that seemed to bring them closer. Despite the unusual circumstances, their burgeoning relationship felt increasingly natural. One evening, after a long discussion about Earth's oceans compared to Zadra's, Alex broached the topic that had been weighing on both their minds. "Celis, these past few days have been different, but good different," Alex started, gauging her reaction. Celis nodded, her blue eyes reflecting a complex mix of emotions. "Yes, I've felt a shift as well. Your presence, your acceptance, it has helped more than I anticipated. I am less overwhelmed." Alex took a deep breath. "So, considering everything, what do you think is the next step for us? I mean, for your condition?" Celis paused, her gaze dropping to her hands before meeting Alex's eyes again. "The mating frenzy isn't just about proximity or casual touch. It's about a deeper connection. The next phase is more intimate. It's about sharing experiences that are genuinely bonding." Understanding the implication, Alex nodded slowly. "And you're asking if I'm ready for that?" "If you are willing," Celis clarified, her voice soft yet serious. "It's a big step, and only if you're completely comfortable. This is not a requirement for your friendship or my gratitude." Alex considered her words carefully, the trust between them palpable. "Celis, I respect you and what you're going through. If this is what you need, I'm here for you. Let's explore this together, respectfully and at a pace we both feel comfortable with." Celis let out a breath she seemed to have been holding. "Thank you, Alex. Your openness is more than I could have hoped for." With the decision made, they spent the rest of the evening planning how to approach this new phase of their relationship. They agreed to start with more personal conversations, sharing more of their personal histories and desires, something they had touched upon but never delved deeply into. The following day, during one of these deeper conversations, Jared dropped by with some updates from the mining operation. Noticing a change in the atmosphere, he raised an eyebrow playfully. "Am I interrupting something important?" Alex and Celis exchanged a glance, a small smile playing on Celis's lips. "Actually, Jared, we were just having a good talk. Care to join us? We're sharing stories about our planets." Jared chuckled, pulling up a chair. "Sure, I never pass up a good story. What's the topic today?" "Deep sea diving on Zadra versus deep space expeditions from Earth," Alex replied. As the conversation unfolded, Jared shared his experiences with spacewalks, while Celis described the bioluminescent creatures of Zadra's oceans. The discussion not only bridged their worlds but also lightened the mood, making the evening feel like a gathering of old friends. Later, when Jared left, Alex turned to Celis. "This feels right, doesn't it? Learning from each other, sharing like this." "It does," Celis agreed, her usual warmth returning. "And each story brings us closer, not just as friends but as beings trying to understand each other's worlds." As they continued their dialogue, exploring each other's cultures and personal experiences, the bond between them deepened. It was a connection built on mutual respect and genuine curiosity, transcending the initial awkwardness of their situation. Alex realized that helping Celis wasn't just about aiding her through a biological imperative, it was about building something rare and meaningful, a testament to the power of empathy and understanding across the stars. The evening air in the medical bay felt charged as Alex and Celis settled into their new routine, embracing the depth of their growing connection. As the Zadran sunset painted the sky with vibrant hues outside, they began another of their now regular deep conversations, this time a little more personal and intimate. Alex hesitated for a moment, searching for the right words. "Celis, these talks we've been having. I've never really shared so much with anyone, not even back home." Celis smiled gently, her eyes reflecting the soft light. Neither have I, Alex. It's not common for Zytherans to share so deeply with outsiders. But with you, it feels right. Encouraged by her response, Alex took a deep breath and moved a bit closer. I think I'm ready to take the next step in helping you through this mating frenzy, if you are. I am, Celis replied, her voice barely above a whisper. And I appreciate your courage and your trust. They shifted slightly, minimizing the space between them, both acknowledging the gravity of the moment. Alex reached out, hesitating just a moment before placing his hand over hers. The contact was electric, charged with the anticipation of the unknown. How does this feel? Alex asked, his voice steady despite the butterflies in his stomach. Celis's hand turned under his, her fingers intertwining with his. It feels good, Alex. It's comforting. They sat in silence for a moment, simply enjoying the connection. Then, gradually, Celis leaned forward, and Alex met her halfway, their foreheads touching lightly. This is part of it? Alex murmured, his breath mingling with hers. Yes, Celis breathed out. Sharing warmth, closeness. It's about understanding and accepting each other on a fundamental level. The simplicity of the act, the gentle touching of foreheads, seemed to deepen their bond, crossing the boundaries of friend and caregiver into something more profound. As they parted slightly, Alex felt a surge of empathy and affection. Celis, tell me if it's too much, okay? I want to make sure you're comfortable. I will, she assured him. And Alex, I feel very comfortable with you. More than I ever thought possible. Their conversation drifted to less intense topics after that, both sensing the need to balance the emotional weight of the evening. They shared laughs and stories of their childhoods, weaving their lives together through words and gentle touches. Later, Jared stopped by, noticing the change in their demeanor but choosing to keep the atmosphere light. Hey, you two look like you've solved all the mysteries of the universe. Care to share any insights? Alex grinned, feeling a newfound ease. Just sharing stories, Jared. The usual evening unwind. Sounds like a good evening to me, Jared chuckled, pulling up a seat. Mind if I join in? Not at all, Celis said, welcoming him into the circle. The trio spent the rest of the evening exchanging tales and ideas, with Jared adding his own experiences and questions into the mix. It was clear that the relationship dynamics were shifting, evolving into something unique and deeply respectful. As Jared left, he gave Alex a knowing look, a silent acknowledgement of the special bond forming between him and Celis. Once alone again, Celis turned to Alex with a soft expression. Thank you, Alex, for tonight. For everything. Thank you, Celis, for trusting me, Alex replied, his heart full. I'm here for whatever comes next. Their connection, built on mutual respect and caring, had grown stronger than either could have anticipated. As they continued their journey through Celis's mating frenzy, they did so with a shared understanding that what they were creating was not just about biological needs but about forming a true, heartfelt bond. The days following the deepening of their relationship brought a noticeable change in Celis. She seemed more at ease, the visible stress of her mating frenzy diminishing. Alex noticed the difference not only in her demeanor but also in their interactions, which had grown increasingly tender and filled with laughter. One evening, as they sat together reviewing data from Alex's latest geological analysis, Celis paused, looking up from the tablet to Alex with a thoughtful expression. Alex, these past few weeks have been transformative for me, Celis began, her voice tinged with emotion. I never anticipated forming such a connection, especially under these circumstances. Alex set aside the tablet, turning to face her fully. I feel the same, Celis. It's been an unexpected journey, but I'm grateful for it. For you. Celis smiled, reaching out to squeeze his hand. I was taught that the mating frenzy was something to endure and manage, but with you, it's been something altogether different. It's been about sharing and growing. That's because you're not going through it alone, Alex replied warmly. We're in this together, whatever this is. Their conversation was interrupted by a knock on the door. Jared entered, a wide grin on his face and a new set of geological sensors in his hand. Am I interrupting, or can I steal Alex for some exciting rock talk? Celis laughed, a sound that now came much easier to her. Go ahead, Jared. I think I can spare him for a while. As Alex and Jared delved into the technical details of the new sensors, discussing potential applications for both human and Zytheran mining, Alex felt a profound sense of contentment. His world had expanded in ways he could never have imagined when he first arrived on Zadra. Later, as Jared left with promises to return with more updates, Celis and Alex resumed their earlier conversation. You know, talking with Jared just now made me realize how much I've learned from you and your people, Alex mused. Not just about science, but about life. Celis nodded, her eyes reflective. And I've learned so much from you, about humanity, about kindness, and about strength in the face of the unknown. It makes me wonder what the future holds for us, Alex said, a hint of wistfulness in his voice. Whatever it is, I believe it will be good, Celis replied confidently. Because no matter what, we've built something lasting here. The next day, Dr. Morell visited Alex to discuss his recovery progress. You've healed remarkably well, Alex. Physically, you're nearly back to full strength, Dr. Morell observed, checking over the medical charts. That's great to hear, Doctor. And I owe a lot of it to Celis and the care I've received here, Alex responded, glancing at Celis with gratitude. Dr. Morell smiled, understanding the unspoken depth of their bond. It's clear you've both benefited from this experience. Celis, you've been exemplary in your duties, as always. Thank you, Dr. Morell. It's been an enlightening experience, Celis said, sharing a look with Alex that spoke volumes. As Dr. Morell left, Alex turned to Celis, taking her hand in his. So, what do you say we keep learning from each other? There's still so much I want to know about Zadra, and I think you haven't run out of questions about Earth yet. Celis's laugh was full of genuine happiness. I think that sounds like a wonderful plan, Alex. Their deepened friendship, now enriched with mutual respect and understanding, had not only helped them navigate the complexities of Celis's biological imperatives but also allowed them to explore a meaningful interstellar friendship, setting a foundation for whatever lay ahead. The day of Alex's discharge from the Zadra medical facility had arrived, signaling not just the end of his recovery but also a pivotal moment in his relationship with Celis. As he packed the few belongings he had accumulated during his stay, he felt a mix of excitement to return to his work and a poignant sadness at the impending change in his daily interactions with Celis. Hard to believe I'm actually leaving, Alex mused aloud as Celis helped him fold his clothes. Celis nodded, her expression bittersweet. It's strange, isn't it? After all these weeks, it feels like you've always been here. Yeah, it does. I'm going to miss this. Miss us, Alex admitted, glancing around the now familiar room that had been his world for so long. Celis smiled softly, placing a folded shirt in his bag. I will miss it too. But we've made memories that will last, no matter the distance. As they finished packing, Jared popped his head in, a grin on his face. Ready to break out of here, Alex? The crew's planning a little farewell bash for you. Nothing big, just a few close friends. That sounds perfect, Jared. Thanks, Alex said, his spirits lifted by the thought of celebrating with the friends he had made on Zadra. Celis and Alex joined Jared and the rest of the mining crew in a small recreation area of the facility. The atmosphere was warm and festive, with decorations reflecting both Earth and Zadran cultures. Tom, the mining supervisor, raised a glass as everyone gathered around. To Alex, who came to us a stranger but leaves as a friend and brother, Tom toasted, his voice echoing in the friendly chatter of the room. And to Celis, for her exceptional care and deep kindness, added Dr. Morell, who had also joined the celebration. The room filled with cheers and applause, and Alex felt overwhelmed by the camaraderie and affection. He took a moment to address the group, his heart full. I came here because of an accident, but what I found was a new family. Thank you all for making me feel so welcome, for teaching me about your world, and for sharing a part of your lives with me. I'll carry this experience with me forever. Celis stepped forward, her eyes gleaming with unshed tears. And we will carry a part of you, Alex. You've taught us much about humanity, about generosity, curiosity, and friendship. As the party continued, Alex and Celis found a quiet corner to talk privately one last time. Celis, before I go, I just want to say. This isn't goodbye, not really. I hope I can come back someday, or maybe see some of you on Earth, Alex said, trying to sound hopeful. I believe you will, Celis replied confidently. And I hope to be one of those who visit. There's so much more we can learn from each other. They hugged, a long, meaningful embrace that spoke volumes about their journey together. Keep in touch, okay? Don't make me chase you down across the galaxy, Alex joked lightly, trying to ease the emotional weight of their farewell. I wouldn't dream of it, Celis laughed, wiping away a tear. You won't get rid of me that easily. With final goodbyes and promises to stay connected, Alex left the medical facility, looking back only once to see Celis waving. As he walked away, he felt a profound sense of gratitude and wonder at the unexpected turn his life had taken. Back at the mining site, As he prepared for the next phase of his work, Alex knew he was not the same man who had arrived on Zadra. He was leaving richer in spirit and friendship, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead with a new perspective shaped by the extraordinary bonds he had formed far from home.